guys, hi wonderful people out there in the world. Today I want to show you guys the outfits that I wore this week and also some of the books that I've been picking up and kind of just talk about those. I actually got sick towards the middle and end of the week. I'm still like kind of getting over everything, and it ruined all of my outfit choices, because one thing about me is that once I get sick, I need to be in like sweatpants or like underwear. Like, I don't really wear anything.
She cries to the heaven above. There's a storm in my heart. She was alive, she didn't choose. It hurts like brand new shoes.
About some of the books that I read this week and kind of talking about my experience with them and seeing you guys would like them or not. I am mainly a fiction reader. Love me a little raunchy, spicy read. I love them all. I love reading anything. So we have 4 physical books here, and then I read also, I believe, 4 or 5 Kindle Unlimited books. We're gonna talk about it. I was sick. I was reading a lot more than normal, and also I just been reading a lot more because summer is my TV, movie, like distracted by media, like video media, visual media, and then fall time, this time of year, is like where I really go in and like connect with my, you know, literature. So I'm gonna start talking about my Kindle Unlimited books because that was a journey. The ones that I actually finished was Sawyer by Jessica Peterson. That was one that I really fully finished. I enjoyed it. I was having a really hard time. I'm kind of going in and out of a slump after reading the Hunger Games series and The Great Unknown. So I love those books so much, and I read those back to back to back, and I just haven't been connecting with books ever since. But this is a part of the Lucky River Ranch series. This is the only one that I read. I was not interested in Cash when it came out, nor was I interested in Wyatt. I wasn't super interested in that, but I am super intrigued by Duke, which comes out in December. So I will definitely read that one. But this one was kind of talking about, it was like 2 single parents, and I really enjoyed it. And they both were so cute. They were so cute. Like, she's very free, kind of happy-go-lucky. I'm gonna do things and like live life the way that it should be lived, and he was like always caring about people, and they kind of allowed themselves, they both helped each other heal from their past like trauma. And then I read Bourbon and Proof by Victoria Wilder. I read Bourbon and Lies, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what it was. I was like pushing myself to get through it. It took me so many days. Like, I would read 2 pages and put it down. The older brother, I actually don't even think I fully read this one, because I have a habit of, if I don't like a book, I'm just gonna read a few chapters and go to the end, and I read the epilogue to get like my happy little after feeling. So I didn't even fully finish it, but we did pick that one up, and you know, it was a difficult read for me. Pick up The Wolf King, and I picked up The Night Prince. I really think that I just wasn't in the mood to read these 2, but I really did enjoy what was happening so far. It's kind of a shifter romance, kind of where the werewolf society is like completely like being taken advantage, not taken advantage of, but like completely getting like kind of ruined by human society. And there's like the South Court and the North, and like it was a whole thing, and I really enjoyed it. But I had already heard so much about the book that I was specifically looking for a specific character, and I wasn't able to enjoy it the way that I would if I didn't know anything about it. So, on my Kindle Unlimited that I started reading and I finished was Burn Bright. I have a love-hate relationship with Becca Hannah. I had to read the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series twice, because the first time that I went through it, I was like, what is this? The writing, there's something weird about the writing and the pacing and the dramatics. Like, I couldn't do it. But then when I read it the second time, like, I want to say Addicted for All is one of those books that I will think about. I'm like, why. Like literally, I'm just like, I got traumatized by reading that book, and it really threw me. So yeah, I picked up Burn Bright. I wasn't super intrigued. I am intrigued in some other characters in the story, but I am still gonna go back and try to read it again. I just like couldn't. Like I think I read like a few pages and I was like, no. We're now going to talk about some physical books. I'm going to go through the ones that I actually finished, and then we're going to go through the ones that I'm currently trying to get through. Finished this week was Then She Was Gone. This is, I'm pretty sure, the first book that I finished in the entire week. So this is by Lisa Jewell. This is a part of a We Live TBR jail series that I do on my BookTok. If you guys want to see that, you guys can go check that out. But I do like a series where I have all of my physical books and some prompts on a wheel that I generated, and then I spin it multiple times a week to get a new book. So this one was picked. This is a thriller. It's like a missing person thriller, and you kind of are going through what has happened in like 10 years later. So you're kind of going through that, and you get perspectives of the person that's missing and multiple characters, and her mother is like one of the main point of views that you get. And it was such a bingeable read. It was so easy to go through. I read this all in one night and I couldn't stop. I think I finished reading it at like around 3:30. Such a good book. Also for the Wheel of TBR, I picked up The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. This one was such a cute fuzzy read, but it had like the first page triggered me and I found like a new fear of mine. So I really enjoyed the book overall. I think some issues, there was something with the writing that I just wasn't like super connected with, and it had me kind of putting it down. But I also started reading this like the first day where I was like really sick, so I think that could have had like an effect on my concentration and my will of life. But I really did enjoy it. The first part really triggered me. It was such a fun like read, in such like a funny way. It was funny. That's one thing that I can definitely say about it. And some of the books, a lot of this, I'm going to talk a lot about my BookTok because I do my reading based on like what I've been posting on my BookTok. But my mom ended up picking for me. I did this little challenge. Priority of the Orange Tree. I read about 150 pages of this book this week. Mind you, the book is this big. This is just a really like, it's a fantasy. There's nothing else to it but fantasy, and like very epic, and you have to know a lot. So I had a really hard time trying to get back into this because I have already picked up a good majority of this book. So is in a world where there's like so many things going on. I couldn't even explain it to you. I'm pretty sure it's a sapphic romance fantasy, very epic fantasy. There is like this huge thing going on that could make or break the world. There's also dragons. I picked up A Curse Till Dark and Lonely. I'm actually reading this right now. I have read about 90 pages of this. Yes, I'm on page 90 and I'm really enjoying it. I love Bridget Kiemer's writing. I've read her romance books when I first started my whole reading journey. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Right now I'm only 90 pages in, so I'm still building out the world a little bit, but super interesting. Definitely like it's a fantasy where like the fantasy world is completely outside of the real world, so we do get like some glimpses of like the US of A. And yeah, super interesting. The main character also has cerebral palsy, so that's like another aspect of it all, but super interesting. And then the last book that I've been reading is 1984. I think I've read about 10 pages this whole week, but I have taken a stride of trying to read books more slowly to fully understand them. As you can tell, like I binge my books. I think out of this week, obviously I've read a ton of books this week. I think I've read about 8 books this week. And I finished about 4 or 5 this week fully. So I binge read a lot because I have a lot of time on my hands, porch. So I really wanted to take some time reading my books because I feel like we need to go back to slow media. Why are we rushing everything? I feel like that's why our attention span is so small and like things like that. So I've been taking this book specifically, this book and Priority of the Orange Tree, super slowly. Like I'm not pressuring myself to read these books at a rapid speed because I feel like that's gonna make me lose out on like the actual meaning of what I'm reading. And you know, I want to remember these books. by the end of the year. Like, especially this one, I feel like this is such an important book. If you guys want me to hear a little bit more about it and my thoughts on it, you can definitely check out my BookTok because I've done some videos on it. But thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you guys enjoy this whole video. It was really short. I'm so sorry. It was really short on like the clothing side of it, but I have two sides to me. I'm a fashion girly and a book girly. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.